Menu narration off. Enable text to speech to allow voice narration of highlighted on.
Ah, London. What a town. History around every corner, and a tourist photographing it. Pubs serving up a pint and a smile. All that music, theatre and art. And multiculturalism. And the world's oldest underground, the Tube. The class of cities, really. Top shelf stuff. Only took 12,000 years to build it up, and one night to tear it all down.
What's our status?
Perimeter security's down, but plenty of your flying friends about.
Fucking hell.
Dalton, no time to waste.
Yes, ma'am. I'm in. Any idea what we're up against, Bagley?
If you hadn't brushed off, I might. Ever consider leaving these security threats to the authorities?
That's rich, Bagley. The government would sooner arrest us for trying to help than actually do something useful.
We'll have to sort this one on our own.
Carefully, Dalton.
Bagley, are you detecting a little worry in Sabine's voice?
Brilliant. Asking the computer about feelings. This explains so much.
Shut it, you two, and get to work.
There she is.
Perimeter security's back up. South entrance is secure.
What was that? Get on the ground! Do it!
Their profiles are heavily encrypted. No identifying information.
Ghosts in this system.
Do us a favor and keep it quiet, Dalton.
If they don't shoot me, I won't shoot them. How's that? They've got loads of dead-set gear down here. Now, why do you suppose that is?
What? How did they get their hands on it?
I don't know. But someone wants to make it look like DedSec was here.
Shit. You need to proceed with extreme caution, Dalton.
Who are these men in black, anyway?
Nothing identifying. I suspect that's by design.
Electrical is live. Repeat. Fireworks are live.
Oh, fuck me. The entire place is rigged to blow.
Jesus, those canisters. Bagley, is that...
RDX nitrogen. Enough to level Parliament.
Can you locate a detonator, Bagley?
Not exactly, but there's a device streaming a fuckload of encrypted data from the floor above you.
Yeah, that fits the bill. On my way.
Surrender! Give it up!
They've staged DedSec propaganda all around the bombs. These pricks are going to blow up Parliament and hang it on us.
Not if you get to that detonator first. Bagley, is that not the detonator?
No, but it's a transmitter sending a signal to a device on the floor above us. Safe to assume that would be the detonator we're looking for.
In the House of Commons. Whoever these men in black are, they've got brass bollocks to set up in the centre of government.
I found the detonator. And it's definitely live. Bagley, I'm gonna need some help with this.
Yes, you are, but sadly I'm locked out.
Fuck. Well, we don't have a chance without Bagley.
Wait, I might know a workaround. We trained in manual overrides at MI5.
You're full of surprises. Be quick about it.
All right, Bagley, do your thing.
I'm in. And the bombs have just armed themselves. Well, that may complicate matters.
Fuck's sake.
Can you defuse them or not?
Of course I can, but I might also trip another failsafe and vaporize you, so fair warning.
Expect this to draw some attention your way, Dalton.
Oh, I'm counting on it.
Company at our back door.
Dalton, we've got some heat here at HQ.
How long's this gonna take, Bagley?
Depends how often you interrupt me with questions.
All right, everyone. Faces on, guns out. It's about to get real.
Fuck.
They're on me. I'll try and hold them off.
Eyes up! They could be anywhere. You made me do this.
Bagley, update.
Let's just say I'm both impressed and annoyed by how sophisticated this anti-tamper security is. Still working.
Bagley, tell me you're close.
I'm through security, now wading through terabytes of decoy code looking for the detonation sequence.
Over here! Moving to cover! Little help here! Oh my god! This has gone completely tits up! Suspect him a hit!
I need your physical appendages now.
What's wrong?
There are 3 slots on the left. One of them is the receiver. You need to pull the controller wire.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, I'm fucking not. Pull the wire.
If this gets me blown up...
Bombs defused. See? That wasn't so bad, was it?
Bagley, you bastard. You nearly gave me a bloody heart attack then. Whoa, what the fuck am I looking at?
It appears Parliament is not the only target. More bombs are going live as we speak.
On screen, Bagley.
Now we need to get the word out. Those sites need to be evacuated.
They're spread out all over London. There isn't any time.
But my sister's at the tone conference. We have to do something.
I picked up a transmitter on the roof that is sending out a signal to the other bomb sites. If you can reach it...
I can shut it all down. Sabine!
Fuck! Dalton, we're breached! Go! The roof!
Sabine, what's going on?
We're being raided. It's a bloodbath. Her protocol is to wipe everything, including Bagley.
I need him for the transmitter.
I know, but if they get him, they get everything. Names, ops, locations.
Okay, I'll do it the old-fashioned way. Wipe him.
Yes, wipe me.
Do it, Sabine, and get the hell out of there.
Fuck. Okay, Bagley's down. You're on your own. Dalton, if this goes...
It won't. I'll see you at the rally point. I promise.
Good luck.
you?
Oh, you still think you're here to save London? I'm afraid that's not going to happen. You're here to help us with some important work.
Important work? Killing thousands of people?
Exactly. To save the world. You do know Londoners have died before, hmm? The plague, the Great Fire, the Blitz. It's not much fun. But destruction is always the cure. And it begins today. Zero Day. It's time for a hard reset.
Oh my God.
Explosions devastated 3 sites in London. Authorities are asking residents to remain in their homes as the situation continues to develop. We have received no official casualty total, but it is expected.
Mourners gathered for a series of candlelight vigils that brought closure to thousands of families and indeed to an entire city. London is now laser-focused.
At 10 Downing Street, where Nigel Cass, CEO of private military company Albion, received a mandate to secure London. Cass has vowed to hunt down DedSec. Terrorist responses way of force. Albion used cutting-edge artificial intelligence systems and autonomous drones to capture the remaining members of DedSec. A stark warning to would-be insurgents.
These top corporations are posting record profits due to increased efficiencies in production and distribution, enabled by the use of technologies initially developed and approved for security purposes.
Cleanup as crime numbers take a dive. Illegal gambling, drug trafficking and prostitution all down following prosecutions of the leaders of 4 of London's 5 largest criminal syndicates. The streets of Camden and Brixton.
Londoners, as Albion's mandate is extended indefinitely by the government, life finally begins to return to normal. Curfews and travel restrictions have been lifted in all boroughs, thanks to the deployment.
News outlets, reports of rioting in Trafalgar Square have been greatly exaggerated, possibly by foreign meddlers pushing a false narrative through social media. Albion is in complete control of a few...
reprimand the public about the circulation of fake news, conspiracy theories persisting in dark corners of the internet that terrorist group DedSec were framed for the bombings have been roundly rejected. Our own reporters could not find a single Londoner willing to expound those theories on camera. The facts simply don't any other story.
I need to assemble a team, but I can't reboot DedSec alone. Let me break into London CTOS and see who's available.
I'm Claire Waters, and we've been discussing the hacktivist, now alleged terrorist group, DedSec, on this week's Buccaneer Radio. I have Colin calling in. Colin, what's your take?
Now, I've been saying from the start we should have rounded up DedSec and thrown them in jail. Now, I'll say they should all be lined up and shot.
You don't find it awfully convenient that they've been fingered as the attackers, but we've seen no proof?
Look at Tone! Look at our city! What more proof do you need?
Well, Colin, I'd say you have to look at their history of non-violent action. Albion's put more civilians in the hospital in the past few months than DedSec ever has. I smell a scapegoat. Now I have Emily calling in. Emily, what's your take?
You're absolutely right, Claire. The government's just framing DedSec because they want to make it seem like they have this under control. They probably have no clue who was behind the bombings. But that doesn't look good on the news, does it? DedSec's been a thorn in their side. Who better to pin it on?
Angie, I have you next. What do you make of all this?
I think, if anything, DedSec showed their true colors. It's terrifying to think we harbored such a dangerous element for years. Terrorists in our own backyard.
Do you find DedSec more frightening than the different gangs in London, like Clan Kelly?
Clan Kelly might set your shop on fire and maybe they'd kill you, but even they wouldn't try to blow up all of Parliament.
Next, I have Crypto King. Do you feel safer using a pseudonym?
Everyone should. Why make it easier for them to track you? And now we've seen what they're capable of and how far they're willing to go.
Hold on. Do you mean the government? Are you suggesting the government was responsible for the bombings?
Oh, trust me, Claire. They didn't do it alone. They're all in on it. The government, Albion, Sirs, Bloom, Sky Bloody Larson, and all the way up to Downing Street. They want to keep us scared, harness us with mind control, suck every last ounce of usefulness out of us, and even in death they'll set off our bodies.
And what do you suggest we do, Crypto King?
Go underground. Deep enough, no electric signal can get you. It's the only way.
Well, thank you to all of our callers today, and thank you for tuning in and scouting for the truth along with me. Next week, Buccaneer Radio will be diving into the Albion Corporation. Just who are these men and women being paid lucrative amounts for the city's defence? Are they protecting us? Protecting London? Or someone else's interests? See you next week, fellow pirates. Claire Waters, out.
Is worse than I thought. But there's a candidate. Looks like you're DedSec's best hope. Glad to see you're alive. If you're still committed to the cause, DedSec need. I'll send you the coordinates to our last safe house. Meet me there.
Fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Auto drive now enabled.
This is London Calling. You're listening to Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. With me, Tash. It's hard to believe that there could be shortages of food and medicine in an advanced country like ours, and yet here we are. Those old government promises of adequate food turn out to be just another lie. Today we're short of basic foodstuffs and vital medical supplies. Hundreds have already died of conditions that could be easily cured. The black market means that criminal gangs like Clan Kelly run our cities. And Prime Minister Dev Hassani isn't even around to pretend to care. How do we go from a consumer paradise to a place of empty shelves and fighting for supplies? What turns a land of plenty into a wild west of hoarding, food battles and black market barons? We protect everyone who comes on the podcast by keeping their identities a secret. Here's veteran political reporter Ian on the power behind shortages.
Auto drive now disabled.
Look, I mean, what was the first thing that happened when Britain sealed itself off? The stuff that got stopped from coming
Auto drive now
was
enabled.
fresh food. I mean, we could live without the fresh food. I mean, everyone's quality of life got instantly worse, but we could live without it. The most damaging part was when the radioactive isotopes stopped coming in. Now, radioactive isotopes, that's what we use for cancer screening, cancer treatment. Now, that stuff, it has a short half-life. Technetium used to save hundreds of thousands of lives just by screening for cancer, let alone testing for cancer. But that stuff has a half-life of 66 hours. As soon as those walls went up, there was just no time to bring it into the country, and that is when people started dying. And then the medicines. The thing is, there's loads of medicines. There was a moment before it took place when actually there was some effort to try and stockpile some of the medicines. There was some things that could be done. For a lot of it, there was simply nothing that could be done. We had a major problem with drugs for schizophrenia. So we saw such an uptick in the kind of attacks that you saw in the street and people suffering on their own because they didn't have the mental health drugs, because those drugs simply couldn't be stockpiled. We eventually found the same thing with foods that weren't produced in the UK. And the trouble with the UK was we don't produce our own food. We never have. For hundreds of years, we produced under half of our own food. So as soon as those walls went up, we started having significant material problems in the country. I mean, Britain always told itself it had this national myth, right, that it would, because it got through the war, that it could go through any kind of hardship. I mean, that wasn't really the case. Actually, people during the war were far more frightened than some of this historical stuff makes out. Now, what did we see? People don't want to go through that stuff. They were desperate for the things that they had before, and they were scared. So they went to the black market. The same thing that always happens. And where did the growth of Clan Kelly come from? It came from people wanting the things that they could previously get legitimately and could now only get through the black market, funneling funds towards criminality. And from there, we got to the situation we have now of this basic war between criminals and security that seems to dominate what's going on out there on the streets.
Nothing shakes people's faith in capitalism quite as much as when capitalism fails to deliver. Here's underground writer and analyst Alfie, The Politics of Poverty.
I think what we've come to now is a realisation that capitalism has essentially failed. I mean, one key promise of capitalism that it makes to its citizens is that there will be surplus, that we will have plenty, and that's the whole logic for running society in this way, that people will have enough. And now, with these kind of huge shortages and everything, you're seeing that system collapse. It hasn't delivered on its primary promise. And I think we've really reached a situation where we have to do away with capitalism entirely. We're seeing a situation where there's shortages for the many, but for a few individuals, there's an elite who are not struggling and short of anything. So it's kind of fundamental inequality in the capitalist system, which is no longer producing the goods for most of us. Shortages are being used as well. I'm not saying that there isn't a real shortage. There possibly is real shortages, but shortages are being used as an excuse for those in power, those elites, to keep what they want and not give to the rest of us what we need. So the excuse of there simply not enough to go around is the justification for maintaining a kind of power of the 1% and leaving the rest of the school.
Yep. So if you're starving one of these things, if your parents can't get their medicine,
I've downloaded a patch to your optics so you can access our security system. It's set up so that I can't just let someone who isn't DedSec in. You'll have to do the manual override.
Smart move having redundant systems like that. Can't trust anyone, right?
One of Sabine's, are you? I'll see you downstairs later then.
This is what you wanted, mate. Get to it. Sabine! Right, where's the fucking light switch?
No DedSec registration detected. Identify yourself, or I'll seal the exits, hack your optic, and read you every drunken email you ever wrote until you starve.
Whoa! Whoa! It's all right. I'm supposed to be here. Authorization code Sabine sent me?
Sabine's alive? Well, that's one piece of good news. I'm Bagley, DedSec's definitely not stolen, highly advanced AI assistant, and it seems I've been out of commission for a few months. Anyway, why don't you go connect me to the DedSec network so I can become more powerful than you could possibly imagine? I mean, catch up on what I missed. That's it. I'm reconnected to the network, downloading our database, news archives, and oh no. Terrorist group DedSec responsible for deadly bombings in London. Dalton Wolf dead? I leave you people alone for a second and you immediately cock it all up.
Sounds like a proper conspiracy, Bagley. Who was really behind the bombings then?
There's a gap in my memory after Dalton, well, let's be honest, after I disarmed the bomb at Parliament. I'm missing information about what happened after I was taken offline. But from what I can infer, an unknown hacker group identified only as Zero Day was involved. I believe this Zero Day staged the attacks and framed DedSec for their dirty work. Come to my terminal. Sabine is requesting a video call. Patching in Sabine Brandt now. I suggest you listen very closely to anything she has to say.
There you are. I'm glad you made it. Bagley. God, it's good to hear your demented little voice. Is your memory intact?
Not even slightly. The last record I have is of our HQ being raided. My only lead is a group known as Zero Day. Ring any bells?
No. But the HQ was attacked by some men in black, the same that were at Parliament. Maybe working together. We didn't stand a chance. They just gunned everyone down.
Fuck, that's mental. You were lucky to get out alive.
I managed to escape through the sewers to Camden. A contact smuggled me out of the city, and I've been hiding out in the north since.
Prudent. Your profile is red flagged as a high-priority target in the city's surveillance system. Even a partial recognition hit would have you hunted down and shot on sight.
Yeah. About that. I'm guessing that if I join up, that kind of attention extends to me, right? Christ, Sabine, it's fucking risky.
Listen, if anyone knows anything about risks, it's me. I lost everything and everyone. But it comes down to this. London is in a death spiral. And if DedSec can't pull it out, trust me, no one can. The city needs a resistance. And it starts with you. What do you say?
I'll say, Amir. So what the hell? Let's get to it.
Excellent. New user registered. Welcome to DedSec. Now, it would be irresponsible of us to release you naked and mewling into the wild. You'll find equipment around the safe house that are essential items in your dead... kit.
I'm Claire Waters, and we've been discussing the hacktivist, now alleged terrorist group, DedSec, on this week's Buccaneer Radio. I have Colin calling in. Colin, what's your take?
Now, I've been saying from the start we should have rounded up DedSec and thrown them in jail. Now, I'll say they should all be lined up and shot.
You don't find it awfully convenient that they've been fingered as the attackers, but we've seen no proof?
Look at Tone! Look at our city! What more proof do you need?
Well, Colin, I'd say you have to look at their history of non-violent action. Albion's put more civilians in the hospital in the past few months than DedSec ever has. I smell a scapegoat. Now I have Emily calling in. Emily, what's your take?
We have a sophisticated system for hiding your identity from facial recognition tech. It's called a mask. And while we're here, perhaps we can talk about updating your wardrobe. I mean, look at you. Come on.
You've got all these fancy new toys, but it's also important to know the basics. You need to learn how to throw a punch and how to take one. Albion will escalate if you come at them with a gun and shoot you down. We want to avoid collateral damage. In DedSec, we try to use guns only as a last resort.
Have you already met Connie Robinson? She owns the pub and is an old DedSec contact, not to mention a champion amateur boxer. Go to the practice ring and she'll show you how to stop flinching when someone cocks a punch at you.
I'll be right down. Could use the warm-up.
Let's start with some basic strikes. Hit me. Don't be shy. That's it! Nice one! You want to get in under my block. Find the weak point. Couldn't have done that better myself. Yes! Nice one! Quick on your feet now. You want to create distance. Nice one! Nice one!
Right. Gear in order? Know enough not to punch yourself in the face or get shot for pulling out a gun too early? Brilliant. I'm working out how we find Zero Day and ruin their day, but I need someone with actual legs to do the legwork. Hope you're ready.
We have some damage control to do if we want to change the perception that we're a bunch of violent thugs. I'll let you be the judge of how best to handle yourself, but remember, you represent DedSec now.
So, which evil cabal are we taking on first?
Make no mistake, London is under occupation. Armed mercenaries patrol our streets, allegedly to keep people safe, but really they're keeping the people scared.
You mean Albion? Yeah, they definitely got that fascist thing going for them. Convince the people they're some kind of saviours, right?
So, we have to ignite the will to resist in the people of London by showing them that Albion aren't the solution. They're the problem.
For that, we'll need information. I'm pushing 2 sets of coordinates to your optic.
Cheers, Bagley. I've identified 2 opportunities. 1, we're going to disrupt some Albion propaganda. Remind the people it's not Albion's way or the highway. 2, we need intel about Albion operations if we want to throw a spanner in their plans. You game?
Sabine, we're gonna wake up this city.
Brilliant. Let's get the people of London on board.
Eating something. What's it going to be this time? Not bacon again.
Auto drive now enabled.
Courgettes. Ban courgette. I can take you banning courgettes. I'm happy with that.
Makes me feel important knowing that I'm being watched with everything I do, Andy.
Well, it's just not reassuring, isn't it? It's like having an extra aunt.
This is the aunt that gets drunk at Christmas and vomits in the kiddie pool, right?
Get that on. This is the bug on the Buccaneer. Let's move on now to sport. Well, the closest thing we have to sport now, riots. I mean, riots are my favourite sport now, Alice, ever since they turned the Oval from a cricket ground into the immigration processing centre. And, yeah, rioting it's a great sport. It's fun for all the family. It's guaranteed action. It's pleasingly violent. I mean, I know the underdogs never win, but, I mean, that's like top-level football have become, but it's still fun to root for them, isn't it? Go team, people of Britain. Oh, never mind, you've been crushed by the machinery of the state again. Still, good effort, lots of positives to take away from today's riot. I'll come back stronger next time. My luck's gonna turn, I can feel it. I can't feel it. I can't feel it. Why not, Buggy? They terrify me to my very core. Of course I do.
Oh my God.
Antisocial behaviour often appears suspicious and is prone to Albion investigation. Remember
mistake.
Moving in.
You're not going to escape.
Just give up, will you? I'll have a look. You're Which one? I'm out! Reloading! Pick yourself up!
Requesting backup.
Tagged him!
Running to cover!
I'll have a look.
Is nearby. Go!
Suspect hit!
You're already dead.
All right, let's do this.
Let's fan out. Be quick about it. Drone, full sweep of the area. They got away! Shit!
At their disposal and all the financial and corporate power and all the physical power, it's never quite possible to shut down people's desire to get to the truth and fight for their own ideologies and values, and you know, we're out here starting that task, so don't give up hope.
You've been listening to Buccaneer with me, Tash. We'll be back soon with more of what you'll never hear on the GBP. Keep listening, keep sharing, and keep resisting.
From the Buccaneer, this is The Bug. Hello, Resistors, it's bug time. Are you all sitting comfortably? No? Good. That's as it should be. This is The Bug. I'm Andy, and joining me to analyse the latest localised to emerge from the course of the one Steve Britain, it's Alex.
Hello, Andy.
And today, we're going to talk to you about Albion.
We automated London's black cabs, we brought Bagley to your optics. But our latest endeavours...
But effectively, every single day, I'm thinking to myself,
What are you gonna do?
Updating facial recognition software. Disturbance detected. Beginning the investigation.
Wasn't expecting that.
No! The immediate area.
I suppose it's got to be unlocked, but you need the high quality spools and all that.
Yeah, no, I know.
It still seems a bit simple, doesn't it? You can't imagine the police resting. That's on account of it.
Oh, yeah. You okay? Yeah, whatever.
By a robot policeman in Bulgaria.
Well, mate, yeah.
It has led the world in AI innovation. We automated London's black cabs, we brought Bagley to your optics. But our latest endeavours have been entirely new. Technology and humanity, two sides of the same coin. That is the heart of daybreak. A chance to leave the troubles of the world behind. Things may seem bleak now, but a new society awaits you. A society of peace and innovation, of love and compassion. Join our members to receive updates when daybreak goes live. Unleash the full potential of your mind. One simple clean procedure and you can be free forever. Sign up for our waitlist today and join them in the world of tomorrow. Daybreak is the future, and the future is very bright indeed.
Huh?
In AI innovation, we automated London's black cabs, we brought Bagley to your optics. Our latest endeavours technology and humanity, two sides of the same coin. That is the heart. A chance to leave the troubles of the world behind. Things may seem bleak. Innovation, love, and prosperity. Join our members to receive updates from daybreak goes live. Unleash the full potential of your mind. One technology and you can be free forever. Sign up for our waitlist today and join us in the world of tomorrow. Daybreak is the future, and the future is very bright indeed.
Let's get this little shit!
In AI innovation, we automated London's black cabs, we brought Bagley to your optics. But our latest endeavours have been entirely new. Technology and humanity, two sides of the same coin. That is the heart of daybreak. A chance to leave the troubles of the world behind. Things may seem bleak now, but a new society awaits you. A society of peace and innovation, of love and prosperity. Join our members to receive updates when daybreak goes live. Unleash the full potential of your mind. Once a complete Christian, you can be free forever. Sign up for our waitlist today and join us in the world of tomorrow. Daybreak is the future, and the future is very bright indeed. Berkuteh has led the world in AI innovation. We automated London's black cabs, we brought Bagley to your optics. But our latest endeavors have been entirely new. Technology and humanity to some. Things may seem bleak now, but a new society awaits you. A society of peace and innovation, of love and prosperity. Join our members to receive updates when daybreak goes live. Unleash the full potential of your mind. Once it will be procedure, you can be free forever. Sign up for our waitlist today and join us in the world of tomorrow. Daybreak is the future, and the future is very bright indeed. Berkuteh has led the world in AI innovation. We automated London's black cabs, we brought Bagley to your optics. But our latest endeavors have been entirely new. Technology and humanity, two sides of the same coin. That is the heart of daybreak. A chance to leave the troubles of the world behind. Things may seem bleak now, but a new society awaits you. A society of peace and innovation, of love and prosperity. Join our members to receive updates when daybreak goes live. Unleash the full potential of your mind. Once it will be procedure, and you can be free forever. Sign up for our waitlist today and join us in the world of tomorrow. Daybreak is the future, and the future is very bright indeed. Berkuteh has led the world in AI innovation. We automated London's black cabs, we brought Bagley to your optics. But our latest endeavors have been entirely new. Technology and humanity, two sides of the same coin. That is the heart of daybreak. A chance to leave the troubles of the world behind. Things may seem bleak now, but a new society awaits you. A society of peace and innovation, of love and prosperity. Join our members to receive updates when daybreak goes live. Unleash the full potential of your mind. Once it will be procedure, and you can be free forever. Sign up for our waitlist today and join us in the world of tomorrow. Daybreak is the future, and the future is very bright indeed. Berkuteh has led the world in AI innovation. We automated London's black cabs, we brought Bagley to your optics. But our latest endeavors have been entirely new. Technology and humanity, two sides of the same coin. That is the heart of daybreak. A chance to leave the troubles of the world behind.
Sorry, I'll get out of the way.
Are both operated and streamed from there too.
And don't forget about the self-driving cars too.
I always thought they were just running on their own.
No, CTOS is the big control system behind the cars. There was a point back in the earliest days of self-driving car technology that they operated by themselves. They used to use a series of sensors to see the world around them. Radar, for instance, would look far off into the distance, while LiDAR would detect objects nearby. And while these cars still use some of this technology, Bloom's CTOS and its detailed of maps and data that it has on London really makes Bloom be able to take control of it, and CTOS can take control of your car if you're parked incorrectly. It's no surprise that it was made mandatory to have a self-driving car.
The system is so bad though, it's so annoying. Whenever I try to use one of the shareable self-driving cars, I always find myself stuck in traffic.
Eyes on the suspect. They're on foot. Over.
Come on, out with you!
After them. There's only one way this ends.
I'd rather not have to kill you today.
Albion have established an operational base in the Royal Court of Justice.
Albion own the bloody courts now. It's like picking up a go directly to jail card at this point.
Exactly. But it likely means there's information here about how Albion are targeting dissenters, the who and the why. We need that data if we're going to disrupt their operation.
Officer down! Officer down! Get me there,
Getting shot at. Ah!
I need backup straight away.
Control, we're pursuing the suspect.
Show yourself! Taking fire!
Received. We are trailing the target.
Bagley, what have we got?
A list of what Albion consider high-value targets that are threats to the peaceful running of London. See here, a journalist, and this one runs a community shelter. Good God, bar your doors.
What the fuck?
All suspected of sowing rebellion or exhibiting tendencies towards... Albion is systematically arresting people even before they rise up. Joke's on them. This list can actually help us find like-minded allies willing to help us. Well done. Now, let's disrupt some of Albion's propaganda and give some hope to the people.
What do I do?
Shit! Staying down! Going to the last known position. Think I saw something. Have a look. We have gunfire!
Control, we have an officer down.
Control, we are pursuing the suspect. Keep searching. Can anyone see the suspect?
Clear. Let's keep looking. Check your doors and corners.
Target is long gone. Disengage. Over and out.
hooked up with Bloom, that's when things changed.
And really, that's not actually that great. Bloom has data on everybody. They collect information about everything you're doing across the web through your optic headset. Isn't the AI only good because of Bloom surveillance?
Well, I suppose so, but I prefer not to talk about that side of things. Bagley is so special because it's been trained on this huge cache of information. That's how these AI systems work, or at least used to work. I mean, we don't really know that much about the latest version because there's so much secrecy around the tech. But they're given this huge amount of training data. It's basically a huge database that's used to teach the AI about patterns in behavior. You know, so if you always travel the same way to your house, it can predict when you're going to go and get a self-driving car ready for you before you even ask.
That's pretty terrifying. In some ways, I don't want this data to drive my life. It understands too much at times. Have you heard some of the rumours around the hacked version of Bagley?
I've heard mutterings, yes.
I've heard it's been used by DedSec.
I wouldn't put it past them. It's pretty well known that they're not fans of Bloom. But the idea of a souped-up version of Bagley, given it's already so intelligent, is a bit terrifying.
I wonder what they could actually make it do.
London. One of the busiest cities on the planet. 9 million people, 3 million cars, and all that means is gridlock. But with Parcel Fox's new drone collect and delivery service, your next delivery is just one click away. Whatever you want, whenever you want, wherever you want. Parcel Fox.
Goodbye. Nibbling away on the rotting carcass of a once free Britain.
Yum, yum.
Hello, Resistance fans. You're listening to the Bug Podcast, the objective voice of objection for this most objectionable world. I am Andy, not my real name, so good luck finding me, Monsieur Bloom. My real name is, in fact, Andrew, and I live in, note this down, a deluded pseudo-reality of my own making, which is, in fact, the most densely populated place on Earth these days. Overcrowded, some might say. Join me.
Remember to be vigilant when going. Daily activities. Any modifications or installation of illegal programs to your optic is a punishable offense. Attention! Illegal entry into London is a security risk. Do not compromise your safety or the safety of others. Persons directly to the authorities.
This is the new normal, innit? To see Albion's brand everywhere you look. At least that's what they have us believing. Fucking dickheads.
There's going to be that much less once you're done here. Let's give Camden a break from these eyesores.
I got this.
A reminder from the City of London. Keep all documentation and identification up to date. ID checks and searches keep London safe. You have nothing to fear if you have nothing to hide. The use of any third-party apps to block your tracking or CTOS activity is illegal and dangerous. Unauthorized programs leave you vulnerable to digital attacks and compromises security.
If you hijacked that scissor lift, you could use it to access the rooftop.
Yes, nicely done. That'll get people's attention. Let them know someone is standing up to Albion. Light the spark that they can stand up to.
If nothing else, it'll relieve their eye strain.
What now?
We're already seeing results from what you've done. That list we found named a journalist in Camden who's been investigating Albion. We reached out and he's got information that can help us. I think you should meet with him.
Send me the coordinates.
Hey, Doc, put your life-saving treatment down. I'm going to take this free one-way bus out of here. Now hold that pillow over my face until the twitching stops.
I just don't think we should think of it in such a negative way. Don't think of it as a medicine diet, Andy. Think of it as a series of healthy lifestyle swaps. Swap out anti-inflammatories for antacids. Swap out the iron lung for the aluminium lung. Swap out MRI machines for Mary machines, which is just a lady called Mary telling you you're fine.
Obviously, critical shortages are as much part of our daily lives, our society and our culture today as things like football, music and complaining about the weather used to be in the old days. And, well, food shortages, yeah, we just learn to live with them, don't we? And there's a lot of positives as well with all these food shortages. I mean, we were eating too much anyway as a nation. The government's just helping us live healthier lifestyles. It's so hard to diet on your own, isn't it? You need the support of a friend or a loved one or a government or collapsing social infrastructure. Positive too, meat, very bad for the environment. So we're actually rebuilding the polar ice caps every time we eat a scrap of lettuce. Positive three, the human race had already cooked all the recipes it needed. There was nothing more to be done with food. We've done that, we can tick it off, we've done it. I was born with food anyway, I've been eating it all my life. If you've been doing the same thing 3 times a day, 4, sometimes 7, or even 8 times a day, you're bound to get bored. And also, final positive, no more meal times. Frees up all that extra time for appreciating all the selfless hard work that Albion do to keep us all safe.
Well, as you say, Andy, people are drawn to novelty, and everyone's had breakfast once. Why you got to keep having it again and again?
Boring, repetitive. There's enough of that in life as it is. You are listening to The Bug. Well, another story that has come to the fore recently is that all European imports have been banned for public health reasons, which is great news. I mean, at least we can get ill eating good, home-produced, locally sourced, British, industrially unsafe food. That's something we can all cling to. Public health reasons, those are curious words. Alice, I don't know if that, in case the public gets too healthy and all that Mediterranean muck. Because British food, it's British food. Spelt, metals, rabbit, that's all it is. All the reasons are glory days.
Just surrender. I'm done. Oh, you hang on. Hang on. Go.
swear saying luck. All right,
Yes.
bring it on.
Acknowledged.
Grass, stay down.
Calling for backup.
Give up!
Moving in.
Head back up to my location.
Need some cover! Need to reload!
Way less easy. I'm taking. I'm moving. In the car, I'm motorbike. Taking fire. It's time to play. Back up, I need back up.
Need some cover! What the hell? They're hit! Shots fired!
Must be nearby.
It's clear. I'm ending this.
Trail's gone cold. Let's regroup.
Moving in. I saw him nearby. Keep looking.
Listening to me? No, I'm listening. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you need some help? What's up?
You're the crew that's been sticking it to Albion? Can't believe someone else is. Thought I was alone, right? Not doing much, just putting the word out. But you? Taking action, mate.
What else can we do? I'm not going to sit and watch while this city burns. Albion's got to go, but they're not leaving without a good arse kicking. What's your intel then?
Almost got clipped finding this. All of Albion's operational data for the entire city. Convoy routes, surveillance targets, assets. It's all there. Thinking you can make good use of that.
That's the goddamn truth.
Here's a sample. Albion's closed King's Cross to the public, right? What people don't know is that they're using it as their logistics centre. Materials, troops, whatever. A lot of it runs through there. You want to give the people a huge boost? Hit that place. Put it out of commission, and you'll severely hamstring Albion's operations here in Camden. Hell, everywhere.
That's the plan then.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's great. Absolutely. If you can,
So neatly designed, a simple button to snitch on someone. That's So much better than non-government informer apps like Stu Leasy, Can Canary or Narkshot. I mean, look, I just need to geocache where the person I'm ratting on currently is. Let's call her, for the sake of argument, Alice.
Sorry, Andy, I was busy reporting you to the authorities for rolling your eyes when passing a Nigel propaganda.
Albion's operational plans are just what we needed to really get some traction. We'll have to take a close look at this. Now, how do we take King's Cross offline?
Albion's housed a massive hybrid-powered generator in there. Output must be immense. You cause a power surge in that base? Getting to that generator ain't gonna be easy. They've locked it up tighter since I last saw.
What do I do?
My news drones are still in here. They should be functional. You can use one of them. Probably have better luck piloting it too, yeah?
Well, causing a power surge in a hybrid-powered generator isn't like making a toasty. We're going to need detailed specifications.
We need to dig into this. Are you seeing this?
Cool, looks bloody complicated. Newsy's got a pretty functional camera. Would a picture do you, Bagley?
It would indeed. According to this, there's an override code that'll get us into the generator's system.
Investigating disturbance. Updating facial recognition.
That's it. Use the code on the generator and I can trigger a power surge.
It should be enough to take King's Cross offline. And the rail system too.
Disturbance detected.
Here we go.
We got a gold mine of information out of St. Pancras. Albion convoys, informants, gear, you name it. Everything we need to ignite the people of London, like we did in Camden. Derail Albion's operations and give the people a reason to rise up, borough by borough. The more we do that, the more we'll get allies flocking to the cause. We'll show London that DedSec is here for them.
That was off the chain, mate. I knew DedSec weren't the bad guys Albion was saying. Now the rest... of Camden will too. Thanks.
Thanks.
Now that you've shown the borough what DedSec is really all about, there are going to be folks wanting to join up. A lot of people have been looking for a way to fight back. In fact, there's one in particular I suspect will contact you very soon. I happen to know they're champing at the bit.
We welcome all types, mate. Gonna need everyone on board to unfuck London. Nice to welcome another tough nut to the crew. Strength and unity, right?
I must say, I'm rather looking forward to the experience. Let's go hunt some baddies.
Fuck yeah.
You got a problem? Well, fuck me, you're still alive. I owe Sabine a tenner. Not only that, but your resistance handiwork just opened up a whole new source of information. So now I spy with my hypothetical eye something... interesting at the Ministry of Civic Management.
What is it?
The Signals Intelligence Response Service, or SIRS, or the Old Grey Gestapo, have developed a surveillance technology called AR Reconstruction. It's the bleeding edge of privacy rights violation, and thus it could be very useful in our attempts to find Zero Day.
Phone line. Let's call the phone line. Here's the number, listeners, in case you want to drop someone in, as long as it's not me. 0044 203 807 3832, and don't...